Hello, I'm Emma Stronach. This is my role play for Established Self-Directed Recovery Relationships. I'm here with Suzy Pavez and she has agreed to do this role play with me. Here. So hi Suzy, I'm Emma. I'm a peer worker from Flourish Australia. How are you today?
I'm good, thanks.
As a peer worker, I draw on my own personal lived experience of having been diagnosed with schizophrenia and my own recovery to provide encouragement and support for people like yourself accessing mental health care. The support I can offer includes individual education with recovery, goal setting, referrals to community-based supports and advocacy on your behalf. We can also do activities together like art classes or going to the gym or the library. As a person involved with this organisation, you have the right to be heard and treated with dignity and respect, to have your privacy protected and to have your documentation handled in a confidential manner. So this is our confidentiality and participation agreement. Take a second to read it over and then we can sign it. Thanks. We'll get you a copy of that one too. So as part of the recovery process for you, we're required to keep case notes. Have you heard of the theory, nothing about me without me? No? So basically it means that you're involved in the process of taking case notes and any documentation we do so that they accurately reflect your goals and needs. That way your priorities in recovery are at the forefront of what we do. Does that sound okay to you?
Yeah.
Now, if at any time you don't feel comfortable with me or with what we're discussing, you can tell me, or we have avenues of complaint that are laid out in this complaints brochure here. If you need to contact me at any time, this is my work phone number and email address. I have to tell you though, we can't be Facebook friends or friends on Instagram because of company policy. I should also mention that we have a responsibility to mandatory reporting, which means if you're a harm to yourself or others, then I have to report it. Do you have any questions on what I've said so far?
No, that all sounds pretty good.
Great, okay. So this is a list of services that I can refer you to. And this is a list of activities that we offer at Flourish headquarters, including yoga and mindfulness, as well as art classes. So I should ask you, are there any cultural or diversity related sensitivities that I should be aware of?
So I identify as queer and bisexual, and I also have mental health issues as well. So I have bipolar and PTSD and OCD as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Would you like to tell me how you were diagnosed with these?
So when I was younger, probably about 17, I was diagnosed with depression, which was wrong. And then when I guess spoke with like correct doctors or whatever, then they realised that it was something else. And then they realised that it was bipolar, and so they, I guess, gave me the right medication and sort of veered me on the correct track. Sort of went on that journey with that. And then I guess, being queer, sort of always knew that. So that, that's, I guess, sort of been something of my knowledge for forever, which is, something that I'm quite proud of and something that I, am pretty open about. So that's, something that I'm, pretty vocal about and stuff like that as well. And
Excellent. That's great. So what was the impact of being diagnosed with mental illness on your life?
Well, I mean, I did hide it in my youth because it wasn't something that we talked about in my family.
Mm-hmm.
And in high school it was quite hard. So that was a pretty big impact as well, because it was something that I hid, so I didn't tell anyone, and so that was a really hard thing to go through as a kid. So actually having a peer worker would have actually been quite helpful. So it's actually nice to sort of have near. So it was pretty impactful as a kid going through that. And then as I sort of got older, it took a really long time to recognize what my triggers were, what worked and what didn't, and that was, I guess, through my own research and my own sort of I don't know, trial and error.
Yeah, so you did it all yourself.
Yeah, which was quite which is quite difficult because you don't know what's kind of going on and stuff, and it's hard to sort of do because you assume doctors are helping you and doing the right thing, which they are, but it's hard when you're young and they just kind of tell you this is the way to do it, and you're like, I don't feel that's correct. So I know with me there's a lot of focus on taking your medication but nothing on the more holistic area of health. So I definitely it would have been nice if someone was able to help me, I guess, with other avenues, because as well I lost a lot of friends. I didn't feel I had a lot of support during the times I was the most unwell. Yeah. I feel like I could have really used a peer worker. During my own recovery. So how have you been making steps towards recovery? What activities do you do to make yourself feel better? Well, for I guess now, like, joining a course has sort of helped in that as well. I wouldn't call it an activity, but not engaging in sort of things like, drinking or anything like that. Those kind of things, I guess, are helpful things, which I wouldn't say they're activities, but, hanging out with friends, I don't know if that sort of makes sense.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant to ask. Have you heard of a recovery plan before?
Like, sort of, but I've personally not done one before.
Okay. So here's a copy of ours that you can take home with you and look over.
Great.
Remember how I told you about nothing about me without me, how we work on things together? So if we work on this recovery plan together, then we can establish your goals in your recovery. So the goals usually are where you want to go in your career, or it can be relationship with family and friends. Where you want your mental health to be at. So do you have people in your life that provide you with support?
I mean, I've created that in a way, I don't have that much family support, but I've kind of over the years sort of created that for myself, so sort of. Yeah. So we've sort of already covered what activities you like to do. Do you have any concerns about doing a recovery plan? Sticking to one. Motivation can be a hard thing. So in regards to, I guess, studying, sticking to the plan to study, making sure you stick to your studies is something, like, making sure to get to the end is something that, So would it help you if we had regular meetings to keep you on track and we work on it together? Yeah, that would be good. And I guess, because staying motivated is a tough thing as well, and not getting distracted by things, and so I think having regular meetings would be good. Okay, well, let's make a time for next week. Then that way you can look at it over the week, and then we can work on it together next week. Do you have any last questions before we go? Not really. I feel like this, it kind of makes sense. You can have a look at what sort of activities and stuff you have, and the art classes are particularly popular. Like it looks like you've got a fair few things, and yeah, like there's a women's group. Yeah, cool. Yeah, sounds pretty good.
Okay. All right. Well, it was lovely to meet you.
Yeah, thank
We'll
you.
see you next week.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
No worries.